Coming up.
Dear Amorosos, I'm a born and raised Philadelphian living in Dallas, Texas. And oh, do I miss real hoagies and steak sandwiches. You can get the ingredients around here, but you can't get the Amorosos rolls. And as any real Philadelphian knows, you can't have a great sandwich without a real Amoroso roll. But civilization has finally come to Texas. It's called Texadelphia. They have great steaks and hoagies and miracle of miracles, Amorosos. It's the hometown taste of Philadelphia, and I really miss it.
Amorosos!
Cars make lousy backpacks. That's why we don't make cars. Instead, we build more maximum cargo space into the Isuzu Rodeo than a car company would even build into a 4Runner. Lease an Isuzu Rodeo for $209 per month for 48 months with $954 due at lease signing. Because why camp out when you can just move in?
You're watching KYW3 Eyewitness News. Live from Independence Mall, KYW3 Eyewitness News.
A March storm making a March Madness situation for you this Monday morning. You'll find slushy conditions on many roadways out there.
The heavy snow has knocked down power lines throughout the tri-state area. A total of 90,000 customers, 70,000 of them are Pico Energy customers, most of them in Chester County. Today is Monday, March the 15th, 1999. Good morning, everyone. I'm Pat Shiraki.
And I'm Amy Caples in for Brandon Brooks this morning. Eyewitness News crews fanned out throughout the Delaware Valley this hour to bring you live coverage of our March winter storm.
By the middle of the week, we should see some melting, but first things first. We have to deal with today. Here's Tom Lemay with our KYW forecast. Hi, Tom.
Morning, Tom.
Yeah, let's try to get through the morning rush hour, okay? This winter storm is not over yet. Take a look at temperatures outside. They went up about a degree or two around midnight and changed the rain around here, the snow to rain. But as you can see from our snowcast, this is how it looked last evening. And as we got toward the midnight hour, that rain-snow line, which you can see right here indicated by the pink, started to move toward the north. And as a result, we had the rain instead of the snow, which is up over New England and Long Island. Now, back here, there's another area of large area precipitation that is sliding toward our region. Now, the morning rush hours, you can see, will be mostly precipitation-free, but later on, that batch of stuff coming up from the southwest will move in, and it could change the rain back to snow before it all ends later today. Here's what to expect out there this morning: rain, snow, slush, some wet snow, some wires are down, trees on the highway too, and as a result of the heavy wet snow, the drainage is not too good, so there's flooding on the roadways. Rain changing over to snow possibly later on today before ending. It will be windy. Gale warnings are up and winds out of the northeast at 20 to 25 miles an hour. Temperatures getting up to maybe 38 degrees, but dropping back down into the 20s tonight as skies start to clear. That's weather. Here's traffic. John Valerio's in the KYW Traffic Center. John?
Thanks, Tom. We do have mostly wet roadways throughout the Philadelphia area, especially the major roadways, and we are looking live right now at the Ben Franklin Toll Plaza. We are also starting to see some increased volume out there. As you can see, we do have a minor delay at the plaza here, but over the bridge into Philadelphia, we are in very good shape. Really no delays there. Now, the secondary roads, we do have some snow covering and slushy conditions there, so that's where you want to be real careful. Let's take a look at the Vine Expressway just off of I-95. Headlights showing you westbound volume headed toward Broad Street and the Schuylkill, and as you can see, we are in good shape here with wet roadways, and you do want to slow down when you head out. Give yourself plenty of extra cushion between you and those vehicles in front of you. Let's take a look at I-95 at Bridge Street. Again, wet roadways and a light volume headed toward the Center City area. And we do have some downed trees and wires out there as well, especially in the suburbs, and some accidents as well. On the Jersey Turnpike, we've got a multi-vehicle accident headed north. It's between Interchange 7, which is 206, and 7A, which is 195. Another accident's on the 309 bypass near the Percy exit. That's a multi-vehicle accident. And as we said, some downed wires and trees affecting traffic as well. First of all, Lower Merion, Montgomery Avenue closed near Penn Road because of downed wires and trees. That's the latest from the KYW Traffic Center.
John, thanks very much. Topping our news, topping Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock this morning, the winter storm that has been bearing down on the area since roughly noon yesterday, and it has left its mark at this hour. Eyewitness News crews have been braving the bad weather all night long, keeping an eye on the snow accumulations, also the road conditions, and even the rain even at this hour. Most likely, the hardest hit areas we will see are the areas north and west of the city, in the suburbs. People there say they were dumped with up to 10 inches of snow. You're looking at one prime example of the mess. This is Route 422 in Montgomery County last night. 6 communities have been declared snow emergency areas: Hatfield, Lansdale, Upper Gwynedd, Lower Merion, Upper Dublin, and Upper Moreland. The road crews have, of course, been out all night long in Montgomery County trying to clean up the mess. Eyewitness News reporter Beth McDonough joins us live from Bryn Mawr to tell us how quickly they're making progress. Beth, good morning.
Oh, they're making excellent progress out here this morning, Pat. As you mentioned, I think many people have been watching the newscast last night on Channel 3 and again, of course, this morning, taking heed to the warnings that we've talked about the morning commute, that you might want to allow more time to get to work this morning. We are now beginning to see more drivers. Although it's quiet right now, a few moments ago we had about a dozen cars driving along here in Route 30 in Bryn Mawr. Perhaps people getting a jump start on their morning commute to work, or parents taking their kids to school early. Now, Bertha Johnson has reason to be concerned with the road conditions today. She drives a school bus for special education students in Radnor. She says the weather is not as bad as she expected and is leaving Dunkin' Donuts right now with coffee in hand to help stay warm while driving her routes this morning.
The children have to get to school, and it's your job.
The weather won't stop you?
No, if they tell us to pull out, no, the weather won't stop me.
As long as the schools are open, you'll still drive?
Yes, I will.
Well, indeed, she is a dedicated school bus driver. Again, she did leave here from Dunkin' Donuts about 10 minutes ago to go hit the Radnor School Bus Barn. Again, you can see a merchant right across the street there shoveling snow. Tough job, but not backbreaking work, but he's trying to clear the sidewalk so when passengers and customers come by later this morning, they'll be able to get to the front door there. Again, you just saw some drivers crossing along Route 30, headed to the Blue Route, probably making their way either out to a Plymouth meeting or into Philadelphia. But again, road conditions out here are really quite nice. We do have some slush on the roadways, but no ice. So from Bryn Mawr, Beth McDonough, KYW 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Beth, big question on everybody's minds this morning. What schools are open or closed? We want to get this out of the way for you. Philadelphia public and parochial schools are open today. Philadelphia public and parochial schools are open today. And of course, you can see across the bottom of your screen for the first time, we are running a list of closings and schools that are opening late in the Delaware Valley this morning. Well, in Bucks County, it was snowing quite heavily in parts of that area overnight. Eyewitness News in Newtown as the snow fell on the streets there. Although major roadways in the area have been plowed throughout the night, motorists, of course, being urged to be extra careful while out driving there this morning. For the very latest in the situation in Bucks County, we go live now to Eyewitness News reporter Dick Standish. Good morning, Dick.
Morning, Amy. You're right on the money. As always, let's show you exactly what you're talking about here. There is a good, thick amount of snow along the edges. Every place you turn in and out of a convenience store, a development, whatever. As you look out, the road may well be clear many places, no problem. You're moving along nicely. They've been pushing snow all night. You'll find your parking places generally cleared. Street road wet, but it's those places you turn in and out, you have to be careful. Last few minutes, people have been basically moving along. Minutes. This is where it gets very, very bad, is that volume builds. But go carefully this morning. Not a morning, like so many, not to become overconfident. That is the story up to the moment from Ben Salem. I'm Dick Standish, KYW 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Dick, thanks very much. Well, the snow wasn't as severe in Center City. Accumulations, not so bad. Still, Old Man Winter getting a few last shots in before spring just the same. Most main roads are now covered with slush and can be treacherous in some places. Last night when the snow was falling, it was affecting visibility, but right now you may have to be concerned about flooding, especially in some areas down at the shore, because the rain is continuing to fall. Well, back to school today for all children in Philadelphia's public and parochial schools. And again, this would be the Philadelphia parochial schools within the city limits of Philadelphia. Some of the suburban areas may have some closings or some late openings. Again, you want to watch on the lower third of our screen. We will show you which schools are open, closed, and which ones are opening late. Administrators have decided roads are safe enough to keep their regular schedule. That means if you go to, again, any Philadelphia City public school or Philadelphia Archdiocesan school in the city of Philadelphia, you are expected to be there on time this morning.
At our KYW News Time, if you're out and about, 6:09. The winter storm causing some power outages to some 90,000 homes and businesses in the Delaware Valley. PECO reporting some 70,000.
And we'll send you a wealth of free information. Then come and discover it is magic. It is extraordinary, and it's pure San Antonio.
Come join us in San Antonio and enjoy life with pure San Antonio style.
And a kid should be out of school.
It can keep you inside or take you outside. This winter, rely on the experts. Nobody knows weather like we do. Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Could be the last storm of the winter season hits the Northeast this Monday. Heavy snow overnight creates air traffic delays in Philadelphia. And in the Baltimore area, up to 10 inches of snow created a 20-car pileup on Interstate 70.
And I'm Bill Keneally in the New York City metro area, buried under a 4 to 8 inch fall of very heavy wet snow. Power is out, many schools are shut. A report coming right up.
Good morning and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by the American Express card. I'm Rick Griffin. Marshall Cease will have the complete details on the storm from the Forecast Center in just a moment. Elsewhere across the country, look for sunny skies today in Chicago, while Charlotte will deal with cloudy and windy conditions. You'll need your coats today in Pittsburgh with temperatures in the upper 30s, and of course, snow will slow you down today in New York City, so take care as you head out. For the latest on how the storm will affect your drive to work this last Monday of the winter season, let's join Marshall Cease in the Forecast Center. Marshall.
Good morning, Rick. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here in the Forecast Center. There are some problems in New York City and Philadelphia this morning, Baltimore and Washington, D.C. We still have a winter storm warning that's in effect for the New York City area, even though as you look out your window, the snow has wound down a little bit. Strong, gusty northeast, north winds are going to keep the wind chill down today, too, and that's going to blow some of that snow around, although it's very heavy, wet snow this morning. Now, LaGuardia JFK reporting normal operation right now, but you may want to call ahead and check your particular airline. We also have the Metro North indicating normal conditions. Long Island Railroad normal as well. New Jersey Transit's looking good. Power status, though, we've got some power outages that are occurring around the Philadelphia area and around the New York City area. Tree limbs have been down by some of that heavy snow, and that's created those power outages. PECO, which is a power company for suburban Philadelphia, indicating about 60,000 people without power at this hour, and there were more than that overnight as some of those tree limbs fell on power lines. And in the metro area of Long Island, Nassau County, and Suffolk County have numerous school closings, as we've had anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snow in some of those areas. Let's check out some of the history here. The heaviest snow is southwest in Pennsylvania and Garrett County, Maryland. That's where over a foot of snow has fallen in some cases. Bedford, Pennsylvania is indicating about 18 inches, while New York City indicating somewhere between 5 and 7 inches, and very rough travel conditions throughout northern New England, right along the spine of the Appalachians through West Virginia and eastern Virginia. Now in Tarrytown, New York, we've got Bill Keneally stationed there checking on local conditions for us. Bill Keneally has a report right now. Bill, is it still mounting up?
It is trying to mount up a little more, Marshall. I think from here on out, though, it's going to be more of a nuisance variety snow. What I mean by that, with temperatures 32 to 33, even 34 degrees, I don't think the roadways are going to see any more hardship, at least not on the interstates. Behind me, the Tappan Zee Bridge, a major river crossing here on the Hudson River, spanning the area from Rockland County over here into Westchester County. There's a lot of fog out there, folks, and with that snow falling, it will be cutting visibility down. The damage, Marshall, has been done overnight. There are a fair amount of power outages in the area. We had flickering at the hotel room about 3:30. That was my wake-up call. And again, a lot of schools are shut down in the metropolitan area. It is a heavy, wet snow. The interstate system's okay, but you gain some elevation all across the region. We're talking about some heavy snow. Quick check on the snow depth here, Marshall. It's generally, I'd say, in the 4-inch range. It is a very heavy, cakey, wet snow. Anybody out there planning on doing some shoveling today, exercise a lot of caution. Hopefully things improving as we roll through the morning rush hour. Back to you.
Bill, thanks a lot. That heavy wet snow creates a couple of problems for folks. One, if you shovel it, make sure you're in good condition to shovel it, because that's how heart attacks happen. Also, it's bringing some tree limbs down on power lines, and power outages have been noted in all in the Philadelphia area and in the New York area. Well, I'm here with Paul Cosin, the winter weather expert here at the Weather Channel. Paul, you were here late last night watching that storm wind up and dump heavy amounts of snow. From the satellite imagery, what can you tell us now?
Well, the storm is beginning to wind down across portions of the heavy snow hit areas that we saw last night, but it's still winding up across New England. We have that upper low that's been a pesky situation. We can even see some snowfall on this satellite image. That's the snowfall that fell across the Ohio Valley. We're seeing the remnants of that upper low continuing to move east and change its orientation. So we're still seeing some of that snow's beginning to wind down, but still moving across the portions of the Washington metropolitan area up towards New York. We'll see a redevelopment, but it'll be mostly on the light variety. The heaviest snow is associated with the surface low, now located off of the Virginia and Maryland coastlines. Moving northeast, heaviest snows now across eastern New England as that Atlantic moisture is pulled in.
Well, it looks like that snow may be headed eastern Pennsylvania once again, and north of Philadelphia. We have Jill Callahan, who was reporting last night, also reporting this morning. Jill, how are conditions this morning, and are there any power outages that far north?
Well, local police stopped by a couple of minutes ago and didn't tell us of any power outages or any major traffic problems. Things are pretty good here in the Allentown area. We had about 6 to 9 inches of snow accumulation overnight with a full details.